you're going in the history book, standing in the Hall of Fame. One of my favorite songs gonna be pumped up. Have a great quiet time with God, and the song's called Hall of Fame. And for those who don't know what the Hall of Fame is, it's an institution honoring the achievements of individuals in a particular activity or field. How to make the Hall of Fame is by excelling at the highest level of your sport or career. Every year must be great. There's no such thing as mediocrity to these people in order to make the Hall of Fame. But I tell you tonight, as disciples sold out for God, we're not trying to make it the Hall of Fame. We're not trying to make our name great. We're trying to make God's name great. Amen. And the thing we're trying to make, instead of the Hall of Fame, I think one thing we really want to make is the Hall of Faith. And tonight's lesson title is called The Hall of Faith.
Let's go, bro.
And for tonight, everybody on this call wants to make it in this Hall of Faith. We have 3 points for us in order to make it. My first point for us tonight is to seek God earnestly.
Come on, bro, teach us.
To seek God earnestly. And I tell you what, if we seek God earnestly, we will make it in the Hall of Faith. Amen. And I love how 2021 is the year of mountain moving faith. That means we need mountain moving quiet times. Amen. We need to seek God earnestly. Turn with me to Hebrews 11.
Come on, bro.
Let's go, bro.
Hebrews 11 is actually known as the Hall of Faith. Of all the disciples, all the prophets that did great things for God are recorded in this chapter alone. In Hebrews chapter 11, we got to seek God earnestly. See, that word earnestly actually means with sincere and intense convictions. We got to have we have to have an intense conviction to walk with God, amen? Because that will lead us to the Hall of Faith. And Hebrews chapter 11, pick up with me in verse 4. It says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance by what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commended for. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. By faith, Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did. By faith, it was commended as righteous. When God spoke well of his offerings, and by faith, Abel still speaks, even though he is dead. By faith, Enoch was taken from this life, so that he did not experience death. He could not be found, because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. Right there, guys. We got to earnestly seek after God.
Come on, bro.
I love this chapter because this is the Hall of Faith chapter. I love how it tells us what faith is. It's confidence in what we hope for. And I know all of us on this call, the one thing we hope for is to be with God in heaven for eternity. Amen.
Amen, bro.
Amen, bro.
How it goes on to even break down science. It says by faith we understand. We don't question that the universe was formed at God's command. So it was seen was not made out of what was visible. See, God said, let there be light, and that was it. That's how powerful our God is. All he has to do is speak it into existence, and there it is. I like how it goes into the faith of Abel and Cain. Abel, by faith, he gave a better offering than Cain did. And he was considered righteous for it. But I love how it picks up in Enoch. If you guys have ever studied Enoch out in Genesis, he was a man that pleased God. Well, what did he do that pleased God so much? Well, he had faith, yes, but what does the Bible say? He earnestly sought after God with all his heart. Imagine. See, if you look at Genesis, I encourage you to study out for your quiet time. Enoch started walking with God at the age of 65 after he had a kid. Which I think for most of us, if we have a kid, we're going to need that extra help, amen? I know Fernando has 3 little ones, so I know he's really walking with God, amen? But what was so awesome is that Enoch was walking with God every single day for 300 years. You know what? God's like, I want to take Enoch from this life. He doesn't have to experience death. Could you imagine that, guys? You wake up to have your quiet time. Imagine you hit up Chris McCloskey. Hey, bro, where you at? And nothing. We can't find Chris because God has taken him away.
Take me now.
Took him away. right? Alejandra just took her away. Because why? We were those considered that pleased God. And I love how important it says, because without faith, it's impossible to please God. But where did faith come from? The very words of God. It says in Romans 10, it says, consequently, faith comes from hearing the message. So imagine if you apply your heart to the scriptures with a pure intention for a devotion. You're going to be full of faith. But you got to do it with earnestly, which is having intense conviction.
Come on, bro.
That's what it's all about, having intense conviction and walking with God.
Come on.
I know 2021 is a new start. I know many of us maybe didn't have the best quiet times of 2020, but 2021 is a renewal of that. To reflect and reset. Am I going to walk with God every single day like Enoch? To walk and talk like Enoch. I know everybody on this call wants to have that. But how is your quiet times going already in 2021? You know, it's the 8th day out there already. How's it been going? Have you been having intense convictions with the Lord? Or have you been ignoring it and pushing the snooze button and staying in bed? What's it look like lately, guys? Because I understand from the scriptures, in order to please God, you got to earnestly seek after him. Well, let's look at Jesus' convictions. Go to Luke chapter 6.
Go, bro.
Come on, Tyler.
Come on, let's go.
Come on, Tyler.
Look at Jesus' conviction with walking with the Lord, amen. And Luke 6, we're going to look at one powerful verse in verse 12. It says, one of those days, Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray and spent the night praying to God. Picture the scene. Jesus stayed up all night on a mountain praying to our great God. That's amazing. I got to imagine the scene, Jesus climbing up the mountain, just tirelessly just trying to get up on the highest of heights to talk to our great God. Has anyone on this call ever went to a mountain and prayed to God? And I thought about mountain climbing, right? Well, why do people do mountain climbing anyways? You know, some do it for sports, right? It's fun. Did people do it for exercising? I know a lot of people are trying to exercise here in 2021, myself included, for the experience or even for the view, right? When you get to the highest of heights, you can look over God's beautiful creation. All the trees, the sky, you see the city from a distance, you see all the animals, the birds chirping. It's a beautiful sight.
Yes, sir.
For me, I'm from Oregon, and I remember I always go to this mountain to hike it and just go up there and pray to my great God. And I tell you what, getting on a mountain, there's nothing more spiritual than being on top of a mountain and praying. There's just something about it. Nature and, you know, talking to God, it's like, it's awesome. It eliminates all the distractions. You know, all the cars, no people. You don't got to worry about if you're loud in your room or loud in your house. Because when you're on a mountain, only God hears you. God and the birds, at least. And I know it's the best time. You know, how's our quiet times going this 2021? Now, there's a famous quote by our dear brother John Causey. He said, "A man on his knees can see much further than a man on a mountain."
Come on, bro.
Wow. Come on.
Think about that, guys.
Mm-hmm.
People go up on these top of these mountains to see the great sights. Wow, it's beautiful. But nothing's more beautiful when you're on your knees and you're praying to God. Because God will see you. God will show you things more than a mountaintop could ever show you. How's our prayer life going, guys? I know a lot of us came in the year like, you know what? I ain't gonna miss a quiet time. I ain't doing it. I can't do it, right? Because I cannot let my life be without God. I know what it's like when I didn't have God. I had nothing. I had no hope. I had no love, no faith, no vision, no purpose, right? I had nothing in my life. But when I studied the Bible and got baptized, that changed. I had God within me. Show me things that I never thought I would ever do. I never thought I would leave Eugene, Oregon, guys. I never thought I'd be in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, preaching on a Zoom call right now. This is what God does when you pray to him. He will move you place to place so you can bring him much glory. But if you're not walking with God, you won't be in his story much longer. God will take you out of that story because it's not about us. When we're on our knees in prayer, God will show us where to go. Guys, I want to challenge everybody on the call that I can tell when someone didn't have a good time with God. Your zeal is very low. And I know in the Dallas Fort Worth campus ministry, we have one of the most zealous disciples.
Come on, bro.
Let's go.
Here.
I'm talking about the Bible blogs. I'm talking about many zealous
no.
people. They're on fire for the Lord, walking with God every single day.
Yes,
I want to
sir.
challenge those who've been missing quiet times already. Do not miss a quiet time in 2021. Explore with God. You gotta understand, like this week has been amazing, guys. We have 4 Bible talks going on now. And you know what I've been seeing during the group meets? I've seen all the Bible talks getting up early in the morning, having quiet times as a family. This past Tuesday, I was with my Bible talk, the tribe life. We had a quiet time. And we're sharing our quiet times, filling ourselves up full of faith and encouragement. And I can tell they're on fire because I'm hearing them share incredible good news. Guys, I'm so fired up to be in the Dream Campus ministry in Dallas Fort Worth because I see men and women who love God with everything they have. But please, you got to seek Him earnestly. Have a great conviction on never missing a quiet time. Push the reset button. Be like Jesus. Stay up all night if you have to, praying to God. And reading His Word, His love language. Amen? And when we do that, guys, we can really go on to my second point. In order to make it in the Hall of Faith, my second point is build a kingdom with urgency.
Come on, Tyler.
Come on, bro.
Let's go.
Build a kingdom with urgency. We'll go back to Hebrews 11. We're going to stay in Hebrews 11 tonight, amen?
Come on, bro. This is great.
Well, we learned the faith of Enoch, Cain, Abel. But now we're going to look at Noah now. Point number 2, build a kingdom with urgency. In Hebrews 11 and verse 7, it says, by faith, Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear, built an ark to save his family. By his faith, he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with faith. Build the kingdom with urgency. You got to imagine, put yourself in Noah's position. God comes to him. Noah probably just doing his regular life, right? Going to job, or he's, at the house. I don't know what he's doing. But God's like, hey, he warns Noah, tells him to build a giant ark that could fit every 2 of each creatures in that ark. And he warned them. And Noah, being a man of faith, he responded and obeyed. And I love how the Old Testament is a foreshadowing of spiritual things. What does the ark represent spiritually? It represents the church. When we got baptized into Christ, the body, the church, the kingdom.
Wow.
If you don't know what I'm saying right now, please get with somebody and study the Bible and learn what I'm talking about. The church is the spiritual ark. Well, what does God want in the church? The spiritual ark. He wants every nation. Just like he wanted all creatures in the ark, he wants all nations in the church. But you gotta imagine though.
That's fire, bro.
Noah with his family building an ark. He wakes up early in the morning, spends time with God, gets his family ready, and they start building this big old boat.
Come on, Tyler.
Imagine, he's like clocking hours, he's like 8 to 8, not 8 to 5, 8 to 8. And on his break and his lunch break and his other break, maybe he has another break and another lunch. What do you think he's doing that time? I imagine he's trying to figure this out. He's like, I don't know how to build an ark. How about you, Timothy? I don't know. Like his son, right? He has his son Ham. He's like, hey, how do we do this? He's trying to figure out how to build this ark. God gave him some instructions, but man, that's supposed to be difficult. He asked all his sons, even his wife's like, you have any idea? And he spent all the time building this giant ark because he wanted to make it perfect. But I gotta imagine though, well, if he knew that destruction was coming, because God warned them, saying there's a flood coming that's gonna wipe off everybody on the face of the earth. Imagine he's building this ark, but in his mind, he's like, man, my neighbors though. What about my neighbors right here? Where are they gonna go? God, are you gonna kill them? He's probably thinking these thoughts. Man, I gotta get them in the ark. Don't you think Noah probably went out and shared his faith? Do you guys think he shared his faith? Well, let's see what the Bible says. Go to 2 Peter.
Go with bro.
Oh, bro.
In 2 Peter chapter 2, let's see what the Bible says about Noah. In verse 5.
Come on, Tyler.
It says, if he did not spare the ancient world when he brought the flood on its ungodly people, but protected Noah, a preacher of righteousness, and 7 others. Oh my goodness. What did we learn about Noah? He was a preacher, guys. He was a preacher. Imagine, he wakes up at 6 in the morning, spends time with God, and he clocks in to build the ark, and then at 11 he takes his first break. I gotta go share my faith. I'll be right back, family. And he probably brought his sons with him, trying to convince people to repent, to turn away from their wickedness, their ungodliness. But sadly, none of them really wanted to repent, though. None did, actually. Only his family listened to him. Too many people in the world are too comfortable. They're way too comfortable, guys, to see what we are doing on this call.
Call us out.
Not many people want to pick up the Zoom call and listen to God's word anymore. They rather watch Netflix. They rather go party. They rather do anything to be close to God. During this time, they said they're ungodly, meaning they didn't want God part of their life. They want to be the God of their own lives. They want to be absolutely comfortable. Well, maybe some people actually kind of want to do what Noah's doing, but they're just too comfortable. They're too comfortable to actually build the ark. And I think some of us are too comfortable to build the kingdom. They really build it on up and give God the glory. We kind of want to just build our own life, our own little kingdom, our own little ark. Guys, you got to understand, during this time, there was a warning shot. You know what that was called? It was the flood. No one took him seriously. No one took Noah, the preacher of righteousness, seriously. But at least he actually shared his faith to warn people to get in this ark. But sadly, no one listened. They're too comfortable, guys. And I know tonight I'm talking to those who may be falling in the comfortable bubble, the comfortable river, that don't want to work hard. You know, I know there's a great opportunity coming up next week, guys. The All Texas Winter Workshop, amen.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And scheme how we're going to build the kingdom. And we're urgent, guys. How urgent are we? We have brothers and sisters coming from San Francisco, Denver, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Houston, coming all the way to Dallas forward to plan and scheme how to build the kingdom. They're urgent, guys. How much more urgent can we be? Those are our brothers and sisters coming to town. We got to take care of them. We got to make sure we're great hosts, amen? Because we understand if your mom and dad came into town, you make sure they're taken care of. How much more your spiritual family?
Come on, bro.
You guys, I heard some of you guys on the call don't want to stay at the hotel. I'm like, guys, you understand there's people flying miles and miles away, hours traveling to stay at this hotel. Guys, this is a faith-moving mountain winter workshop, guys. We got to make the best out of this. It only happens once a year.
Come on.
We got to stay at the hotel because why? We got to encourage our brothers and sisters that are traveling from foreign lands to encourage us. We can't be bump on the logs and be comfortable. We got to be zealous. We be fired up. We got to show them that we're trying to build the kingdom with great urgency. Are you with me?
Oh,
Come on, bro.
I want to challenge everybody. If you're thinking about staying home during the winter workshop, repent. Understand you're part of a family. We're part of a family that's trying to build this kingdom. We got to be unified, guys. We can't be disunified, thinking only half can come. No, I expect everybody in the campus ministry to be sold out. If you got to work the extra hours, do it. I'm pouring myself out to be at the hotel. Guys, I'm doing it for one reason only. It's for God. I want to show everyone that I'm serious at building the kingdom up.
Come on, bro.
Great urgency. I ain't playing around, guys. I know none of you on this call are playing around. Guys, back then, they had a warning shot called the flood. Only 8 people were saved. What's our warning shot tonight, guys? It is fire. It's not water, it's fire. And how do you guys think I know that? Well, the Bible says so. Turn me to 2 Peter chapter 3.
Let's go, Tyler. Bro, come
Come on,
on.
bro. Preach, bro.
Preach it, bro.
Look what the Bible says about the warning shot for our generation. And 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. The elements will be destroyed by fire. And the earth and everything done in it will be laid bare. Since everything will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be? You ought to live holy and godly lives as you look forward to the day of God and speed its coming. That day will bring about the destruction of the heavens by fire. The elements will melt in the heat. But in keeping with his promise, we are looking forward to a new heaven and new earth where righteousness dwells. And the church says, amen.
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 Guys, the
Amen.
warning shot for our generation is fire. God's wrath is coming in balls of fire. It's going to burn down everything we see. Nothing is going to be able to escape. It says all the elements is going to melt. That's scary, guys. Like you can look at anything on this planet, it's going to melt. It's not flame proof. But there's only one thing on this planet that is flame proof. Not a sold out disciple covered in the blood of Jesus, amen.
Come on.
When we got baptized into Christ, we became flame proof. Isn't that incredible? And I believe when Noah looked around and he saw the people, he saw them on fire already. They're dying. He saw them as death if they didn't repent. Do we see people like that nowadays? Guys, if we're not urgent in saving people from this fire, we will be consumed too. We'll be consumed, guys, because we become just like anybody else. It's just another religious group, not really serious about world evangelism. We become lukewarm, we become comfortable. We don't want to work hard anymore. That's not what Noah did and his family. They built the ark. That's a lot of work ethic right there, amen? And I know a lot of us call, I want to look up Alan. This guy is urgent. This guy is building the kingdom with great urgency. He does not sleep. This guy has 3, 4 Bible studies always going. No, there's no holiday for him. He's always studying the Bible with people. Many of them are on this call right now being inspired by the Word of God, wanting to get their lives right with God, saying no to this ungodly generation. This world has nothing to offer us, guys. I want the Alan. I want the Mia. Mia in the Tribe Bible Talk. She's on fire, guys. She just said like 3 Bible studies. And she's like, you guys, I ain't sleeping. I ain't sleeping until I baptize somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Kayla all the way in Oklahoma. She's like, I'm sharing my faith with all my teammates. I gotta get more hoopers in the kingdom of God. I want to build my own basketball ministry. She has vision. I'm so proud of the campus ministry getting that momentum back. Saving souls is what we do. It's who we are, guys. We gotta visualize people walking around covered in fire. You know, I know a lot of us when we were little kids, you know, when the summertime came out, you know what we bought to keep us to have fun? We all bought super soakers. If you didn't buy a super soaker, you're lying. I know you're lying. Because I know for me, I got the best super soaker. You know, I go around and I spray people. That's what we got to do with the Word of God. We got to take this as a super soaker and spray people. Share faith. Get them baptized into Christ and let's build the kingdom with great urgency.
Come on.
Guys, I want to challenge everyone on the call to get personally fruitful by the end of the year.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
Personally
There it
fruitful
is.
by the end of the year. Use
Come
that
on,
super
bro.
soaker, guys.
Come on.
Come
You
on.
did it, guys. Bring the childlike humor back, guys. See, I revealed our goal in our Bible talk on Tuesday to the Tribe Bible Talk. And I encourage everybody, guys, we're going to have 16 new brothers and sisters by the end of the year. And I know many other Bible Talks revealed their plans and encouraged everybody, inspired everybody on the growth that we're going to have. And we're going to see 55 additions by the end of the year in campus ministry. I know everybody's wrote this down. Hashtag Road to 100 Dreamers in the campus ministry.
Let's
Guys, if we
go.
go out there
Come on.
and personally fruitful every year, we will see our world be evangelist in our day. Amen. So make it your goal, personal goal. Be fruitful by the end of the year. Get in the waters of baptism.
Yeah.
That leads me to my third and final point. embrace God's promises.
Bro, keep going, bro. Come on.
Embrace God's promises, guys.
Come
See,
on.
to embrace, it means to hold on tightly, enthusiastically. That's what it means to embrace. You hold on tightly to God's promises. Well, where do we find God's promises? Well, same in Hebrews 11. Let's keep looking. Go back to Hebrews 11.
Come on, Tyler.
Come on, Tyler.
In Hebrews 11, in
Explain.
verse 8.
Okay.
So we just got done talking about Noah, how he was a builder. Well, let's look at Abraham now. In verse 8, it says, by faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as an inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he didn't know where he was going. By faith, he made his home in the promised land, like a stranger in a foreign country. He lived in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him on the same promise. For he was looking forward to the city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. And by faith, even Sarah, who was past childbearing age, was enabled to bear children because she considered him faithful, who had made the promise. And so from this one man, he as good as dead, came descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, as countless as the sand in the seashore. All these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they are foreigners and strangers on earth. People who say such things show that they are looking for a country of their own. If they had been thinking of the country they had left, they would have an opportunity to return. Instead, they were longing for a better country, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them. Wow.
Come on.
This is awesome. This is Abraham, a man of faith, who was told to go to the land I'm showing you. And everyone's like, okay. He had faith. Like, he just obeyed. He didn't question God, like, where am I going? Like, you sure I need to go there? I kind of want to stay here. Abraham just obeyed God and went. He went to the land he was shown. And I love how it notes that Abraham lived in tents. See, those who live in tents is someone that does not set roots. They're just passing through. Abraham never had a house, guys. He never settled roots on earth. He lived in his tent his whole life because he knew that his home was in heaven.
That's
He
great.
just wandered this earth, knowing that he did have promise that everything he sees was going to be his one day. And guess what? If you're the sold out disciple, we're all over the world, amen. God's promises are being fulfilled every single day, all the way through Abraham, because we're his spiritual children. That's pretty cool, guys. And for us, our promised land isn't on earth, it's in heaven. It's the kingdom. It's the church. It's one another on this call. If you're a sold out disciple, we're going to be in heaven one day. And we got to build great relationships, amen. But we got to embrace the promise to be in heaven. That's the ultimate prize. You know, I think about our dear sisters, Kamsi, Tamara, we got Bernard and Lala. They went to San Francisco. God called them. You know what they did? Like, I want to do this. They obeyed and they went. They trusted God. They embraced God's promises. Like, you know what? God's called me to San Francisco. And who knows where God calls the rest of us one day. But are you trusting God that you're willing to go because you embrace his promises? We cannot grow roots on earth, guys. If you're living to please yourself, to make a lot of money to get a house, retire at the age of 45 or 50, cut that. It's not about that. It's about building up the kingdom, embracing God's promise that one day we'll be with him for eternity. Isn't that what Jesus said to the disciples when he comforted them?
Come on.
Well, turn me to John chapter 14.
Come on,
Look what he says to the disciples right here.
Let's go, bro.
In John 14, look at the encouragement he brings. In John 14, it says, in verse 1, he says, do not let your hearts be troubled. Is your heart troubled this evening? Are you worrying about something? Are you full of anxiety? Are you scared of what your future looks like? Are you going to get Mr. Right? Are you focused on worldly things? Jesus says, do not let your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. And that were not so, would I have told you that I'm going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going. Guys, think about that for a second. Jesus left earth to go to heaven to prepare a place for you and I. Imagine the creator of the universe is preparing a place for you, a specialized room for you. Guys, I can imagine what Fernando's room in heaven looks like. Picture that. What does Fernando's room look like? What does Samuel's room look like? I know Bob's room is probably full of a lot of food. He's fired up about that. I think about Kenny. I think about Alejandra, Lizzie, Mia. I just, guys, picture the room that God has in store for you. That's got to like move your heart. Like, oh my gosh, what am I thinking about this life? This life has nothing to offer me. Fully trust in the promises of God. Embrace them. Hold them tightly. Don't let them go. Don't let Satan convince you there's something better in this life. When you're going through hard times, you got to understand that God's going to test your faith to see, are you really going to hold on to my promises? Isn't that what he did with Abraham? Go back to Hebrews 11.
Bro, come on, bro.
Come on.
He surely tested Abraham in Hebrews chapter 11. In Hebrews 11, look what it says in verse 17. It says, by faith, Abraham, when God tested him, offered Isaac as a sacrifice. He who had embraced the promises was about to sacrifice his one and only son, even though God had said to him, it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. Abraham reasoned that God could even raise the dead. And so in a manner of speaking, he did receive Isaac back from the dead. Wow. God tested Abraham. Can you imagine being Abraham? You're holding your baby boy, or at this time, a lot of people believe when Abraham had to go sacrifice Isaac, he was like 30 years old. So kind of like my age, actually. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? Hold up. Hold up. Where's the animal sacrifice? But imagine though, Abraham's mindset. God says, I want you to kill your one and only son. You know what Abraham did? He did not question it. Because what do the scriptures say? He reasoned. He reasoned that God could even raise the dead. He knew, Abraham knew, if I just kill Isaac, well, my God's so powerful, he's just going to bring him back. Because he promised me. He promised me that through Isaac, there are going to be many descendants. Wow. Talk about the man full of faith, guys. That's the testing he was going through. Well, what test are you going through right now? Is there anything that will stop you from embracing God's promises in your life? What's stopping you from fully embracing God's promises?
Wow, talk about it, bro.
See, I've been studying through my quiet time, I've been going through Genesis, and it's been encouraging to see, the father of faith, Abraham, and he wasn't always known as that. If you study Genesis out, Abraham was like up and down. God had to mold his character and his faith all the way up to the point where he's like, then he tested him, and he remained truthful and loyal. And there's a prophecy, is a fulfillment, Isaac representing like Jesus, who Jesus like, you know what, here am I, send me to die on a cross for you and I. That was God's promise fulfilled through Jesus. God's always been faithful. It's not about God's faithfulness, it's about ours. Are we going to be faithful to God no matter what? Are we going to embrace his challenges? Are we going to embrace it? Embrace the promises, despite the test, despite the challenges, and remain loyal, just like Abraham did. I want to challenge everybody. Find that one thing in your life that's hindering you from fully trusting God and let it go. Let it go. Get absolutely surrendered. Move your mountain with faith and surrender.
Wow, come on.
That's what Abraham did. You study out Abraham, he's always calling out to the Lord for his comfort, for provider, strength, everything. God has got to be all or nothing for you. Embrace God's promises, guys. And it will be an incredible year. It will be 2021, mounting moving faith, guys. And we will make it to the Hall of Faith. But we must, guys. We must seek God earnestly. We must build the kingdom with great urgency. and to embrace God's promises no matter what. And if we do that, we will make it in the Hall of Faith, guys. And I love you so much.
Wow.
Come on.
Bro.
Go, Tyler.
Come on, bro.
Oh my God.
Come on, bro.